Hey everybody, this is Sherry with CPR, Craft, Pray, Repeat. And I've been working on a few cards and I wanted to share one of them with you today. This is one of the crazier reasons for one of my cards, let me tell you. My mother, who is in her 70s, started feeding this crazy gopher, or groundhog, excuse me, this crazy groundhog last year. And I kept telling her, Mama said, that's not a good thing to do. Mom, don't do that. And so finally, when winter came, the groundhog went and hibernated. And so now it's spring, and guess who's back? Her crazy groundhog. And I told her, I said, Mom, you better be careful. I said, it is spring. I said, he either came back to mate or to eat. I said, so you better hope you got some food handy. And she was saying, he looks so skinny. I'm like, Mom, he's a groundhog. But, so she's got this crazy groundhog. And I happen to have this CottageCutz stamp. So I used it. I also used this hollow tree with Friends CottageCutz die. And then I used this really cool stamp set. I believe it's Nellie Snelling. I'm not sure. I don't have the packaging anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's Nellie Snelling. And these were got for me from Amazon. Absolutely love her punches. I have one now. Even the extra large is tiny. So, I mean, but they're great punches. And this part opens up and you put your punched out piece in here. And you push this down and it shapes it and gives it the little rib marks and everything, so it looks really realistic. And so these are what I used for this card. I also used 2 punches, which I don't have here with me. One's a cloud punch, one's a grass punch. And give me 1 second and I'll share my card with you. Alright everyone, here is my card. And here's my little groundhog. Now, I had punched this out of a different die set, and I can't remember which one, because I had been making some Christmas tags, and I didn't use it for from the die that it came with, so I put it in a bowl, and I thought, well, I'm going to put a little heart here, because he seems to love my mother. So, I gave him a little heart, and then all of the mushrooms and the little pieces of grass here came from the other tree die that I shared with you. This is the flower punch, and I just put a tiny little gem in the center. I used my black glaze pen over top of his nose so that I got it nice and shiny along with his eyes. And then I used my white gel pen to go over top of that. I used my Tim Holtz Distress inks to ink everything up. And then when it came to the mushrooms, they had little dots in them. And I wanted to do something, but I couldn't quite figure out what. And I didn't have the right color pen, and I didn't want to pull out my markers. So I had some gel pens. One was like a gray, and I used it first. Or no, it was like a... What was it? It was more like a dull brown, but it wasn't dark enough. And I wanted to put a little bit of like a silvery tone to it. So I used my silver gel pen and then went over it with that brown looking pen. And it gave me the perfect color for the little dimples inside the mushrooms. And so I added them. Used forest moss here for the grass. I used all different kinds. Ground espresso. Vintage photo. For the little groundhog, broken china for the clouds, and I just hand wrote feed me on it, and then chalked his little cheeks, so he's got rosy little cheeks. I love that. They just turned out adorable on this one, and I don't always have good luck with chalking my cheeks, but I absolutely love how he turned out. It just brought him to life. It was like, you know, there for a while he's looking a little peaked, but you put a little blush on his cheeks and he came right to life. And so this is it. It's an A2 size card. I did not put anything on the inside because I'm going to just write my mom a note. And I have a Easter card for her, but when her groundhog came back, I just had to make this. And I love that groundhog. He comes with a little crack pot, so you can put a little floral pot on top of his head if you want to, or sit it beside him like he pulled the flower out. So, I mean, there's lots of things you can do with it and use it. You don't have to use it just because your mother has a pet wild groundhog. Just saying. So, that is it. Mariah's giggling. That is it, everybody. This this flower thing, because it makes it a dimensional like cup. So the edges are up off the side, so only the center is glued down on that. So I made sure to use an E6000 because I didn't want to risk it pulling loose since it was only held by the center, if that makes sense. And excuse me, I cut the blue layer at 4 by 5 1/4 so that I had the little border. And that was it. My card is Recollections 110-pound cardstock. And I think I've told you everything about the card that I can think of. If you have any questions, just leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And remember to practice your CPR. Craft, pray, repeat. Thanks for visiting me today and happy crafting. Love you all. Bye.